Oh, hello, fellow sensitive souls, fellow starseeds, light workers, all those going through these crazy times with me. I really wanted to bring you a video a few days ago before the eclipse because I was feeling so much I wanted to share, but I was just knocked out by those eclipse energies. I don't know how you were doing. I mean, I'm still feeling them, but I feel much, much better right now. But wow, these eclipse energies are really strong, and we have another one coming up. So I wanted to create a message and some healing, bring through some healing for those going through these intense energies. And what I've been feeling for me, I trust is also going to be relevant for others. So I just share what I'm going through. You know, I've been on this path for a while. And I'm continuously healing, evolving, growing, expanding, as we all are, you know. And I feel that I've come here to share my voice and to share my unique light codes. And I trust that those who receive this video, those who come across it and resonate with it, are those that I'm here to assist. So if this is really feeling true for you, please continue and receive the healing, listen to the messages that come through me. You know, if it's not, that's absolutely fine too. You know, so many of us are on similar paths, yet with really different sort of resonances. So it's really important that you feel what feels really true to you. And some of the healing that I bring through can be quite potent. And so trust yourself if that's what you really need, and give yourself space to receive that. You know, don't just rush around and just have this on in the background. I would encourage you to really relax and center in your heart and be present. And often when we're on social media, and I can be guilty of this as well, and on YouTube, and it's like, okay, flip, scroll. And you can get so distracted and so off center, and we can end up consuming so much information without really processing it, without really integrating it, or without really using our discernment to know if that's really true for us, if this is really healthy and helpful for us to consume and to receive. So I encourage you to tune in to this message and to see if this feels right for you, if this is what your soul's calling you to receive today, to be nurtured by today. Because my intent to bring through that which really serves and is really from love and for the highest good. And not everyone will like my messages. In fact, I'm sure loads will be repelled by what I bring through, and that's fine by me. I just really want to serve those I'm here to serve. And it actually takes me quite a lot of courage to show up these videos, because I'm not a naturally extrovert person. I hate being on camera. I'm not really into social media that much. And I just do this because I'm really having to be here in service. And I've been called so strongly that I have to get over my fear of being seen and show up and be of service to love. And since I've been bringing through all of these light codes, I feel like they're to be shared. They're not just for me. They're to be received by others. And so I'm here to share my voice. And I'd really encourage you, particularly any who identifies women watching, I would really encourage you to share your voice too, in whatever way that resonates with you, whatever way that is, and whatever it is, because it can't just be me who's been going through this deep healing. It must be many other women at this time who have got lifetimes of suppression and oppression ingrained into us, and lots of collective suppression and oppression of the feminine voice, of feminine power. So I really encourage you to speak up, shine your light in any way, in any small way, or whatever feels right for you, even if you feel a fear of that, because I've had to bust through absolutely tons of fear, and I still have to face lots of fear. And that's what I want to come on to in this video, actually, because these eclipse energies have brought up a lot of fear. Just when you think you've moved through some fear, I can guarantee there'll be another level. And it's not just our fear. That's the thing. What's been coming up for me is really, really deep ancestral fear, deep ancestral trauma, and traumatic patterns and memories that I feel we're collectively moving through, particularly at this time. And there's a few things I want to say about this, and I'd really like to bring through some light language healing to support you through any ancestral healing you're going through as well. And hopefully it'll help me and help you and all who can receive it. Because, you know, as we do this for ourselves, it does ripple out and affect those around us. And of course, as we're healing our ancestral lines, we shift our whole family tree. So it's really potent, powerful stuff. And I feel a lot of us light workers and starseeds who have incarnated into these human bodies and vehicles at this time are often here to do a lot of ancestral healing for our family lines. And we're often born into families we do not relate to and do not receive really what we wanted to receive from those families, whether that's from both lines, your paternal line or your maternal, or both, or you might not even be aware of it. It could be generations back. There are several layers to this I wanted to share with you. So as starseeds, light workers, you know, I believe that our souls chose these missions to be here at this time in history for this elevation in consciousness, for this huge shift, for this birthing of a new age. And part of that is healing these deep-seated ancestral traumatic patterns that have run through our ancestral lines for millennia. And so we're often born into families that deeply challenge us. We have childhood trauma and many traumatic experiences growing up. And often we just feel the black sheep of the family. We don't feel we belong. We feel completely alien and we feel alone often, and often rejected and totally misunderstood or even abused by our families or members of our family. And I'm not obviously condoning any of that at all. And I have deep compassion for anyone. You know, I've gone through a lot of stuff myself. And I just want to say that on some level, we're here to heal, grow, evolve, and expand through that, you know, for the growth and evolution that we get through that. And it's not just for us. You know, we're here, our souls chose often really challenging journeys. This is what I keep getting told when I go, why? You know, that our souls chose these challenges so we could bring our light into these deep entrenched patterns, so we can shift both personally and collectively and heal, help humanity heal, you know, because we're never going to get to, you know, the fifth dimensional consciousness, or however you want to look at it. Fifth dimensional consciousness really is here anyway, but, you know, an elevation in consciousness throughout humanity, unless we heal the past traumas and pains and wounds. And that often entails a lot of deep inner work and collective work. And often we don't realize, or we might realize, that the work we're doing is not just on a personal level. It's not just about me, it's about we. And often the work that comes up really strongly for us is having a massive effect beyond our own selves and our family. We're healing backwards and forwards and multidimensionally all at once. And it's really powerful. But it can be hard to stick with it, because sometimes the symptoms that come up when we're doing this deep ancestral healing can be really strange. I don't know about you, but I experience a lot of somatic release. For any of you who have gone through somatic trauma healing like I have, it can be really bizarre when your body starts releasing cellular memory through somatic release that you just don't understand or have any context for. And it takes an extraordinary amount of presence and self-compassion and courage to move through a lot of this. And if you're going through this, you know, you're not alone. It can be really deeply challenging, because some of the stuff can really freak you out. Like some of the physical symptoms that come through me are as if my body is reliving a death or traumatic experience that I don't have the memory for. Sometimes I'll get a sense of what it's about, but I'll just have to follow it through. And it can be extreme, like a lot of really extreme. I'll feel bracing, and then I'll presence that, and then go through a series of releases of physical symptoms to get this energy, to move this energy through, to move it out. And if you're going through this, stick with it, or I'd recommend getting support from a trauma-informed therapist or somatic trauma therapist. If that's a really big issue for you and you haven't had that and it's overwhelming for you, definitely seek support. And if you can be with it, presence it, and see these energies through, because they do want to work through your system. And being in, I found for me, being in stillness and presence really helps, but also being in movement allows this energy to move through, whether that be an exercise practice or something like yoga or qigong, or just dance. For me, it's like free movement. The more I'm free in expression and free moving, the more these energies can move through, often then when I'm in stillness. So it can happen in both ways. Sometimes the energies start to release when you're moving or you're in a yoga pose or something like that. And sometimes the energies start to sort of move through you when you're moving, but then when you're in presence, you have access to actually consciously move through these releases. It's really, really tough. I've been going through some crazy ones lately. And again, I feel the light coming in. So I'm at night. I don't know if you've been experiencing this as well, the high-pitched noises, the flashes of light, the sort of influxing of light is flushing all this stuff out. It's bringing all this stuff up to the surface. And a lot of it is, you know, really traumatic, really dark stuff that's been suppressed for a long time, for generations. So it can be generational. Back, you know, science has shown that we do carry traumatic memory through, I think it's 7 generations back. I mean, I actually believe it can be much more than that, but I don't think that's been proven. I don't know why I'm doing this. But it's, I'm definitely experiencing really old, really ancient trauma, and you might be too. I tell you what I've come to realize, or what I've been guided to know about and share. So prior to the eclipse, I think it was the day before, I had a bad dream. And in this dream, I saw, like, I was looking up at the sky and I just saw these really dark clouds and this like a disaster was going to happen. It was like this real feeling of absolute impending doom. And I've had dreams like that before. That's another story, galactic warfare and stuff like that. That's a whole other story. But this is, I feel, is related to the eclipse. And I woke up in the morning, I thought, that's really interesting. What was that about? Because none of the rest of the context of the dream was very clear. You know, it was really this feeling and looking up at the sky and seeing these really deep, dark clouds and this disaster about to happen. And then I was then listening to Molly McCord, if any of you know Molly McCord's Ancestral, I'm talking about her intuitive astrological podcasts and YouTube videos. And she was talking about this ancestral stuff. And I was like, oh, yes, that makes sense. She was saying our ancestors, old ancestors, would have probably perceived the eclipses, solar eclipses particularly, because they were so dramatic, you know, without any understanding of what's happening. Can you imagine how that would have been for our old ancestors? They would have been experiencing the sky going black, you know, and the birds freaking out and all sorts of strange things happening. And it must have been really, really scary. And it must have had that feeling of impending doom, what's going to happen. And I just had that feeling that, oh yeah, that this could be part of our ancestral healing, you know, bringing up these really deep-seated fears of doom. And also, this brings me on to memories of Atlantis, because I've been going through, well, for quite a long time now, deep healing, ancestral healing and past life healing from Atlantean times. And what I've also heard, can't remember exactly where from now, but I remember coming across the idea of the sort of an idea that when Atlantis fell and there was this huge cataclysm, that left a traumatic imprint in the survivors that we have descended from, or had past lives that experienced that. And of course, I think there's a lot of that Atlantean energy playing out right now, because we're going through that similar time, you know, with the changing of the cycles and so forth. And you have to look around you to see that we're reaching kind of a crescendo, a tipping point, a crescendo or tipping point towards, you know, what we're going to choose. We're going to choose to go down the path of destruction like we have done before, or we're going to choose a new way and to birth a new age. And I feel like there is a lot of really deep trauma, ancestral trauma and past life trauma from Atlantean times, and from the great cataclysm, and this sense of impending doom. And I've certainly been going through that, and lots of other stuff related to Atlantis, but focusing on the ancestral stuff now, and the eclipse energies, and that feeling of doom and deep fear of survival. I'm wondering if that's coming up in the collective. I would love to hear from you, actually. If you have any experience of this, or if this resonates with you, please do comment and let me know, because I would just love to hear your perspective, and if this is coming up for you, and if you have that intuition about it as well, that there's multi-levels and layers to this. There's our recent ancestry, but there's also our ancient ancestry. And sometimes these eclipse energies can really trigger that deep impending doom, feeling of impending doom, survival, end of an era, cataclysm. And I've been experiencing that myself, so I'd be intrigued to know if you have too. So yeah, that's a lot of what I have to say really about the energies that have been moving through. A lot of deep-seated fears, irrational fears. Often it can be fear you don't really understand, and it doesn't even feel like yours. So if that's happening for you, I'd encourage you to be present and say, trying to be neutral and witness the fear. The thing with fear is we never really get rid of it. We can clear a lot of the permanent fear. So fear should be fast, right? Fear should be a fast energy that is in response to a real threat. So whenever it persists longer than that, you know that it's a stuck fear. Because if all emotions, and fear is a really important natural emotion, and it's important to tell us if there's something really dangerous about to occur. But often it's not about something dangerous that's about to occur, of course, isn't it? It's false evidence appearing real. And it is that deep-seated survival stress that's often held in our cells, in our DNA, in our energy fields, in our ancestral fields, and our past life fields. So the more we embody our light, our soul light, our higher self, and we bring light to all these deep-seated fears, they will come up to be seen. And it can be alarming, because you think, oh God, where's this fear coming from, you know? And yeah, it's not often yours. It could be your grandmother's. It could be from several generations back. And ask, is this fear mine? And if it's not, say, I just personally, just every day sort of witness it and say, okay, I often say yes to this fear. I witness you, I see you. I do not judge you. I sort of speak aloud to the fear and say, okay, I witness that I'm running fear here. Or I might say, oh, it's in my solar plexus, or oh, I'm witnessing this pain in my shoulder, and then the fear will come up. And I'm able to really presence it now. And then you'll find that, well, I transmute it. It just transmutes. The more you're in acceptance and presence, pure neutral presence to it, you'll find it transmutes really easily, or moves through you really easily. And of course, if it's not yours and something carrying that is not yours to carry, you can ask that to be cleared, or you can command that be cleared in a neutral way, with respect, with neutrality. And you say, I release all that's not mine to carry. I release all fear that is not mine back to its source of origin, or back to the light, or to be transmuted in the most optimal way. And this is often a continual process, because sometimes we just always think we can beat the fear, that if we just keep doing all the right things, then we won't have fear anymore. And what I've learned is that the fear will arise as we go through this journey of awakening and evolution. These things can often happen in cycles, and according to your astrological energies, your soul path, and so forth. And for me, I've chosen quite a challenging path where I have to meet a lot of fear. And so you probably are too, if you're a light worker. And that is the path often of the spiritual warrior as well. And so I've learned to sort of be with the fear, transmute it where necessary, and still move forward anyway. But obviously having great compassion, it's really important to have the courage and compassion to meet these fears and to move through them. Because, you know, like often these old traumas, like our ancestors maybe didn't have the support. They didn't know how to regulate their nervous systems. They didn't have the comfort of what we have in modern day life and the therapists and access to YouTube videos and things to receive support. So often all that stuff got squashed down and carried on through generation. And part of, I feel, the awakening process and this ascension journey, you might say, is to heal this survival energy, this fear-based energy, which is really running the show and becoming dominant at the moment. It's like it's all coming up, and it can be easy to get stuck on it because obviously there's ulterior motives that want us to be in fear a lot of the time. And so it really takes a lot of courage to meet that and transmute it and move through it and keep going anyway, because it's very easy to let fear stop you. It's very easy to let fear shut you down, and very easy to let fear suppress you. And it takes, and I'm speaking from personal experience, it takes so much courage and compassion to keep saying, okay, I can see what's going on. I see what's going on. You know, I'll keep going. And it really takes that devotion and commitment to love and to empowerment and freedom to keep showing up to the fear. So I would really encourage you through this time, if you can do that, to seek support and to hold yourself through it with compassion. And realize you're probably much stronger than you actually think you are to move through it. I'm telling you the messages I'm getting for myself. So I'm wondering if there might be some light language healing that wants to come through me that I can channel through for my higher self. Because I've also had a really recent burst, an influx of some new light codes, which is very interesting. So I'm wondering if there's some that can come through to really assist you. And I'm going to get, I think there might be, since my throat's starting to go. So I'm going to just presence in my heart. So I encourage you, if you would like to receive some healing, ancestral healing now, just center in your heart, for your feet on the ground. Let's take a few deep breaths into the heart and to the belly together. You've been doing a lot of talking. Just relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the weight of your body. Center in your heart. And if you're ready to receive some light codes to assist you through this ancestral healing and clearing some of these deep-rooted fears that are not yours or that are coming up in the collective, I'll see what comes through to support you now. So just receive with an open heart. There's nothing you have to do. Ikara, 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 put. Ishakati idoira doyeshiri etirot, uti shikara etirot. Ishakaduyana. Hiadoira doyshakara irato irakati irakuto irata irata anna, hanna, hanna, utoira shanakado. Itara dera shpari dera hannito deshkara itari iratare, utotira iratara, uyana. Itara kut utira shwit tira. What era tidiro shwat dira. Deep breath. Right into the belly. Yaro dera shwani dera katite shiri idara to ira kushwa ira katani ataro shana dera nahato ishagri. Itarato ira shwata dera katishana. Utare katara shwanana. Ikatatara utishakati tarota ishakam. Itarata kroshkar iterati. Ikarota ira shwati dera uto ira shit derota yana. Itaragut ira kashwati ira na. Ikatatot ira tatera 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 ushana ushana. Utegrata. ut ana ikara ite rotu shana krite ut ikata terat anito terat ut eratta iskroti erat irat ut erashni kati yanata ut era ita ut erashna katu itirata iratata itoroti shroti erat no koto ishano to yana ut era gaishano to era hanna itarot adirash ikarate irata adirash o kadera nianna o tare shoti era I kadera do ishana tera ite ekata to ite ito da era shiti era unna ikata era to te era shiti de granda ita da ut itera at ishara kot era atta ate kroshwadi itera hinni ikoto te itera ta ikoto tera histi ishare itera hot unini ikoto to era ta anna oto erash Ikato itera kate itera shware itera kate itera oto iteshana kot era ta itera to te kato to era ta era kata akata oto ishani ikate era to utena hanni Ui, itera kate sharota era hita hanna oto era kate era shwat ite granna hot oto te itera oto era te era hata era kat iteshane koto Itaira hatera ko shwati tera hut uitera. Itaira kita ro tera ko tuto tera shwati ikarate te karoti shoto tera. Ikata era to ushakatera tate ikato tera shene kete ite era tate shara kato te shara koto niende te ere kete shene ikoto to era te era shwata ikata ite era shwana. Ikata era to ite era kata era shwati inni ikoto to ite era shikar inni yata anyata ito yata kato to ishara ko nyata anni Ikoto ira shwan ite grasha de koto ite ranna anna. Ikoro isha kati itara hat ire hoto ire shinigan anna han. Uta ut. Yato isha de kete ano hoto isha kete aro ite ranna ite rato isha kata erot ushini ikate rate era koto isha kato ite ranna ite rahat atahat ut ikarashwati rahat ikaro shiri ite rahat. Yakoto ishana itarahan utoirashik utoirite ershwalinna ikote iterahat ish koto iterahan oke ish arket iterashwit iterahat ikaroto ta iterahat ikoshwiterahan ikaderahan ut ish koto iteshari Ia dera kote shitero titi otere kite shede iderat ishada dera uto yeshede kadita ut erati ita twit ite kotut ite tiro ite dera shwitita tirot ite katotut ikoto dera ite ishede gera ut erakati rot ishakroti niya ut ikare ishede dera to ini ut era shinikar inini itara shinite erahan ut kadishina dera Interesting. Ikaro te shara itera hun te ke shara ko itere ke unno te ere ke shne ka to te era unno te ere hun ika unno te ka shut isha 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 iana kata ut ya ta shut ita ut iana ko te ishani te ara hut ishana ut ikarashana ita ka to shara ke era shuni ita ra ki te era tu itera shni ita Yara ko ishana itera hut ini Yaroishana duirahan itash. Yake erat ish would itar ut. Ike erashna ut iterashnu. Iterahan. Take some nice steady breaths. Yera kote shinita. Yera to ishani katara utira shiri tira onoi kadaira ishini itira to ishana katoini itara hun. Yera uira iro itara kiti shana koto itat itira ut itira hun. Okay, so I'm feeling that's some Andromedan energy and Sirian energy. Ikoto ishari erush wade gadi inni derat ut iketito irishiro iterat ishigri itirut ini okut ushara tirat derat irahat iterokut unni dare iterat iterashana iterakut ushini deran kut ita ikata era deru jirirat erut iratu dera shiri derat ini to irakat tu te isara deran ni te kati to ayara ti jaran akot ero te shini to erat what era to isara deran ut irata. There's a lot coming through today. So I feel like a lot of some heart clearing, something held in the heart or this area. There's a lot coming up through the central channel. I don't know, some was a lot coming down. I do a lot of light mudras and things, sacred geometry that's going down, which you can't see because it's below the screen, but I trust that's still helping your energy fields, working through your chakras. I think a lot of it is a lot of root chakra security stuff. Also a lot around the face. Ira tira shiro tira shu ikade itera hoto I no to I shwaniti arkot uto itara te era shwit ira shwani tara tira kot uto ira tara haru shwiti tira annete ikaro uto ira shwiti tira han ita kati itara hoto tira shana kiti ira hoto itash ikada ira ta ira tutu tira shwaniti ikada titera shwiti tira kati titi ira tutu ira. Okay, I'm open to anything else that wants to come through. That's for the highest good, that is from love. Ira kote sheriano to yanita, ita. Ira kote sheni, itera koto itara uti itera ushwana. Itera hoto sheni. Itera wosheni tiara han uti, itera koto unitash. Itara koto ishara era anna. Itera anna. Uera te shana to era hira. So I'm also getting now that there's a remembrance coming through. This is activating a remembrance. So even though we're healing a lot of our ancestral trauma, we're also remembering. And this is not a mental remembering. This is a soul remembering of our ancient ancestors and the wisdom that they did have. So yes, we're clearing a lot of the ancestral trauma, but we're also accessing or remembering a lot of our ancestral wisdom that's really needed at this time. So it's like healing out the gunk, the trauma, the pain, the wounding, and activating and remembering our deepest soul wisdom and ancestral wisdom, wisdom of the earth keepers. So yeah, stay grounded, connect to the earth, feet on the ground. You might want to spend some time in meditation, just connecting with your ancestors and giving thanks for all that they went through, because you wouldn't exist without them. Even the ones that might have caused you a lot of pain, and you might be clearing a lot of trauma from now, and you're like, oh, really? But yeah, you wouldn't exist without them. You know, and I wonder how far back we have to go before, you know, we realize that, well, we don't have to go back that far at all, really, to know that we're all from the same ancestors. You know, we're all of the original lines. I'm not even going to go into the origins. That's the whole other video. But, you know, we're all connected. So as we do this work, we're all helping heal each other through our own direct ancestral lines and from the collective. So I really hope this supports you. Well, I think this has been quite a long video. So I think I better say goodbye now. If you've stayed with me this long, thank you. I really appreciate it. A lot came through that I wasn't expecting. So I pray, hope and pray that this supported you and provides healing. I'd love to hear feedback. So please do comment on how you receive this light language healing, any experiences you had. It might not be immediate, it might be after. But yeah, I'd love to hear any feedback, any of your own experiences going through these eclipse energies and ancestral healing and remembrance, anything that might be activated and remembered within you. And if you really like my vibe and you would like more support, then I do offer a free weekly group meditation and light language healing on Zoom. You can keep your video off, you can stay completely anonymous if you want, but it's a lovely group shared space where I lead you through trauma-informed embodiment practices, heart coherence, and gentle practices to help us connect more with our body, embody more of our light, be in a more of a state of harmony and connection, connect to our inner wisdom, stay grounded and centered, find your own inner resilience and resourcefulness, connect to your soul light, and to bring collective healing as you do this for yourself. And then I bring through light codes, whatever the group needs. So I'd love you to join me if that feels resonant for you. And you can find the details below. There's a sign up link. And I think that's under hormonalharmony.love/Hearthaven, I think. But do check below if that interests you. And also I do work one-to-one, and I do a lot of ancestral healing in my one-to-one work with light language and with my intuitive abilities. So if this is something you'd love some more support with, please reach out and look at my websites below, or send me an email or comment below. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe if this is something you'd like to see more of in my videos. But much love and blessings for now. I wish you well through this eclipse season, and I shall see you very soon. Lots of love.